Anytime I talk to somebody about money who is struggling with money, a very common thing that I hear is that, man, if I just made some more money, my money problems would be solved. If I could just make 10% more money, 20% more money, an extra 50 grand a year, all my money problems would be solved. But what happens to so many people in that situation is you work harder to get a raise, you get a promotion, you get a bonus. All of a sudden you start making more money, but then your expenses suddenly go up with your new income. This is why so many times you see people with high incomes that are still living broke, they're still living paycheck to paycheck, because if you do not have the right financial education on how to use your money, it does not matter how much money you win. You could go out and win the lottery and still end up broke. That's why the majority of lottery winners end up broke or bankrupt in just 5 years. So the real solution isn't just how much money you're making in the beginning, it's what you're doing with the money that you make. Now once we know this, once we understand number 1 and 2, that's when making more money will have the biggest impact. And I'll talk about the ways that you can earn more money. But the first thing that you got to do is you got to understand how to systemize your money. In order to do that, you have to understand the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. A liability is something that takes money away from your pocket. Your clothes, your cars, your shoes, your vacations, your restaurants, all these things are liabilities. Assets are things that you buy for the sole purpose of making money. These would be things like your stock market investments, your real estate investments, not the home that you live in, but actual real estate investments. This could potentially be cryptocurrency and anything that you're buying, your business, for the sole purpose. You're spending money on this for one reason and one reason only: to make money. The reason why I don't say that your home itself is an asset, because you're buying your home not for the purpose of making money, but for the purpose of having a place to live, for a purpose that you can make memories in. Sure, can it make money? Yeah. But you're not buying it with the reason and the goal of making money, which is why for so many people, their home is a money pit until you sell it, and then you just have to hope that you can sell your home for a profit. So what happens to so many people is you make money, and now you want to go off and start spending money because you have to. You got to pay your rent, you got to pay your mortgage, you got to pay your gas for your car, you got to pay your phone bill, you got to pay for utilities. All these things are liabilities, and you spend your money, you spend your money, and spend your money, and then you pay for your groceries, and then you're left with little to nothing left. And if there is something left, that's when you can start investing. What the majority of people do is they invest very little. They spend their money and then they invest whatever's left because they're worried about spending their money first. And what's happening here is all this money you're spending on liabilities is an asset for somebody. It's an asset for the person selling you the stuff. Because when you go to Lululemon, Gucci, Amazon, Kroger, Target, all the money that you spend at these companies is an asset for them, because the money that you're spending on your liabilities is going into somebody else's assets. And this brings me to number 2. How do you now use your money smartly to make yourself wealthy instead of just everybody else around you? Now, the most apparent answer to this is typically investing your money in stocks or real estate or crypto. But the answer can go a little bit bigger, and this depends on you. If you have debt that's outstanding, maybe it's mortgage, maybe it's student loans. If you have high interest debts like credit card debt or other sorts of high interest debts, you definitely need to pay that off right now. However, paying down debt can be a form of investment as well, because if you have a 6% debt that's outstanding and you pay that off with this money, well, you're getting a guaranteed 6% return on your money. If you invest this money in the stock market or the real estate market, your goal is to get a 7 to 10% return on your money. Maybe you get more, maybe you get less, maybe you lose some money, but the goal is to get 7 to 10%. However, it's not guaranteed. But when you pay down your debt, you're getting a guaranteed 6% return on your money. Now the question is, what is your goal in your life? And what is your risk tolerance? If your goal is to live big and you want to take big risks and you want to do whatever it takes to make as much money as possible, as quick as possible, then don't worry about paying down the debt. Invest in yourself, build a business, do something that way you can grow your income as quick as possible. And don't worry about the 6%, because now you're working on taking on as much risk as possible to see the biggest returns. If you say, I just want to be financially free and not have to stress about money, I don't want to be worried about money, I just want to be able to live free, then pay down that debt as fast as possible. Because as soon as you pay down the debt, your expenses start dropping quickly. And now you can have more of your income being used to invest and save and build more of that sort of wealth. So this is where you got to be honest with your own risk tolerance and what type of lifestyle that you want to live. The key here is now you're not just using your money to buy liabilities, you're using your money to buy assets, and then you can use your assets to pay for your liabilities. Remember what I talked about before. When you go out and buy Lululemon, you buy some Apple AirPods, you go to Amazon, you go shopping, you go to Kroger, all these things are liabilities for you. but they're an asset for these companies. This is where now earning more money has the biggest impact and the most power, because now you understand how to use your money. Now you have built a system where once you start earning more money, your more money has to flow through this system. I do not want you to forget this system, because if you forget the system, then what happens? You start earning more money, and then you start spending more money, and then you forget about the investments, your savings don't grow, and then your wealth doesn't grow. You buy nicer stuff, but you don't become any richer. That's why you have to know this first. You have to have this basic financial education first, because now once you make more money, your more money is going to have the biggest impact. And now you're investing more aggressively, you're saving more aggressively, and you're also living a bigger lifestyle. This is where you want to have a system like this. That way now you can grow with your higher incomes. Now the question is, how do you earn more money? And this is where you got to again understand you, because not everybody's meant to be a side hustler. Not everybody's meant to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody's meant to be a salesperson. You got to understand what's best for you, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself, invest in your own skills. Even if you don't want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be willing to invest in your own skills. So if you want to be a business owner, go out, start a side hustle, start your own business, right? There's tons of side hustles out there. You can start with Uber, you can start with Lyft, Grubhub, Instacart. I mean, there's so many different things out there. You can be a digital freelancer. All these things can earn you an extra $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, depending on how much money or time you're willing to put into it. Now, if you want to build your own business, again, it takes more time, more effort, but there's an unlimited amount of money that you can earn from it. And with any of these things, you have to be willing to invest in yourself. But even if you don't want to be this type of side hustler, a freelancer, you don't want to be a business owner, you can still invest in yourself. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the shorter clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And if you're interested in learning more about how to invest your money in the stock market, our team put together an amazing guide that will walk you through how to invest your money in the stock market, what the stock market is, different stock market strategies, and how to build wealth in the stock market. This guide is completely free when you sign up for our daily newsletter. So if you want to read this guide, all you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.